What if Yoda was on Coruscant when Palpatine tried to turn Anakin? Let's explore the depths of this scenario in the video.
What about the droid attack on the Wookies?
We must send an attack group there immediately.
He's right. It's a critical system we cannot afford to lose.
Yoda considers his options. He knows the Wookiees have long been allies of the Jedi, and the Republic and their loyalty was tested in the war. But they have remained steadfast. They cannot abandon them in their time of need. He's about to volunteer to lead the operation, but then feels a shudder in the Force, as if the dark side of the Force is starting to swirl, getting ready to drink deep. Glancing over at Anakin, Yoda rubs his chin.
Arrangements I shall make for one to join the Wookiees.
Anakin meets his gaze and frowns. He wonders whether that has something to do with his appointment. Does he trust Anakin so little that he refuses to leave Coruscant to keep an eye on him? Those thoughts linger in his mind as the meeting drags on. Eventually, they go their separate ways. As Anakin departs to report this to the Chancellor, Obi-Wan follows after him and explains the real reason the Jedi appointed him a member of the Jedi Council is to spy on Palpatine. Although his master tries to explain that this was for a good reason, it only infuriates the young Jedi further, who sees it as proof of the Jedi's hypocrisy. Anakin walks through the halls of the Senate building, grateful for at least getting him out of the Jedi Temple, and takes his mind off what's happening. As he approaches the Chancellor's office, Palpatine steps out, smiling warmly and beckoning him inside.
Anakin, my boy, it's always a pleasure to see you.
The two begin discussing some of the latest developments in the aftermath of the Battle of Coruscant, but the Chancellor sees that Anakin's heart isn't in the conversation.
You seem troubled, Anakin. Is something on your mind?
It's the Jedi. It seems that every day they stray further and further from their ideals.
That is one of the important things about war. Through the destruction, it bears the true nature of its participants. It's saddening to see the Jedi were not what they claimed. Meanwhile, you have remained your true self. Brave, smart, and most of all, loyal.
Thank you, Chancellor. I needed to hear that.
Perhaps there is more to your frustration than just the Jedi. Is there something else that troubles you?
It's Padme. I've been having these visions, dreams, of her dying. I don't know what they mean, but they feel so real. Palpatine's expression softens, and he rises to stand beside Anakin. He places a hand on the young Jedi's shoulder, his voice low and comforting.
I understand your pain, Anakin. I can see how much Padme means to you, and there has been so much death recently. Your love for her is powerful, and it's that love that makes you strong. I'm sure you'll find a way.
To help Anakin take his mind off things, Palpatine orders Anakin to accompany him as he oversees the rebuilding effort on Coruscant. The Chancellor spends the day visiting hospitals, rewarding troops, and handing out relief goods to those who lost their homes in the battle. It's work that Anakin is happy to accept and gives him some purpose. Everywhere he goes, he's greeted with cheers or gratitude as the people, soldiers, civilians, and even children hurry to see the hero with no fear. The adulation of the people is intoxicating for Anakin, who has been worrying for these past few days, but all of those troubles just melt away. Palpatine is happy to let Anakin bask in the glory, knowing that it serves an important purpose. Having such a revered figure with him will give him more legitimacy, especially if Anakin were to become his apprentice. More importantly, it grooms Anakin into becoming his apprentice. Seeing all the glory it brings might soften the blow, but while he enjoys this, Anakin does not fully lose his loyalty to the Jedi and reports everything he does to them. While this seems harmless enough, Yoda is concerned that Palpatine might be using this to prop up his name and remain in power. In response, Yoda also begins to organize a Jedi-led relief effort to help the people. The Grand Master walks beside Anakin through the makeshift relief camp, where the Jedi volunteers are busily serving the people who lost their homes. The air is thick with the sounds of coughing, crying, and murmurs as the Jedi and volunteers distribute supplies.
This is what the war has brought, Master. Suffering, fear, and despair. And the Jedi, we're at the center of it.
Heavy the burden of war is, but help we must where we can. The path of the Jedi it is.
As they walk, Anakin notices the haunted looks in the eyes of the people around him, and his heart tightens. While many are certainly grateful, others look at them with flat gazes or barely concealed anger.
I think these people might disagree on that, Master. They do not seem happy to see us here.
He tries to ignore the looks, but many of them seem rather accusing, as if saying they are the ones responsible for their pain. Yoda, on the other hand, remains impassive. But Anakin cannot ignore them. In many ways, these people resemble how he and his mother looked all those years ago on Tatooine.
Honestly, Master, I'm not sure either. It feels like no matter what we do, the darkness grows stronger.
Understand, I do, your frustration. Heavy on you, the war is. But still, a force for good the Jedi are, even in darkness. Light we bring.
Is it enough to just do what we can? The Jedi once stood for something greater, something more than just fighting wars. Now we're just keeping things from getting worse.
Noble your concern is, young Skywalker. But this is the danger of attachment. Focus on a few and forget many you will. Continue looking forward, we must, for the Sith.
Anakin's eyes narrow, staring at the Grand Master in shock.
What good is it to find the Sith when everything around us is falling apart? The people we swore to protect, they're suffering. It seems the Jedi have lost sight of what's important.
As they discuss this, one of the Jedi comes in and reports a disturbance. He points to outside the camp where more people are gathering. But instead of being refugees and those in need, they are protesters. They hold up holographic signs and chant to end the war, saying that the Jedi have become little more than warmongers. The temple guards and clones try to keep them back, while Yoda watches this and shakes his head.
The Jedi are like Coruscant, Master. On the surface, they might seem strong, powerful even. But underneath, it's all just an empty shell. I think I've done enough relief for one day.
He shakes his head and begins to go. The protesters begin to gather at the edge of the camp, with some starting to push against the temple guards and clone troopers, who struggle to maintain order. The tension escalates as more people join the protest, their anger simmering. Yoda watches, his expression grave as he makes his way down to try and calm the protesters. As he approaches the guards, an explosion rips through the camp, sending a shockwave that knocks people off their feet. The force of the blast throws Yoda back, his small frame tumbling through the air before he lands on the ground. Anakin whirls around at the sound and spots the small Jedi lying prone on the ground.
Master Yoda!
The clones and temple guards rush to contain the situation, barely managing to restore order as the protesters scatter in the winds. Anakin sprints back towards Yoda, kneeling beside him.
Master, are you all right?
Yoda winces, but nods, though it's clear that the blast has taken a toll on him. Anakin quickly carries the Jedi away, leaving the others to handle the cleanup. In the temple's infirmary, the droids report that Yoda is not severely injured, but it would be best for him to rest in the meantime. Yoda nods reluctantly, just as the Chancellor's hologram appears on the medical droid's hand. The Jedi Master's eyes narrow at the sight of the Chancellor, feeling a prickle in his skin as he stares at him.
Master Yoda, it seems the situation has become too dangerous. Perhaps it is time for the Republic to take over the relief missions. Our forces have encountered fewer disruptions.
Peacekeepers, the Jedi are. To maintain the peace, we shall.
Then perhaps young Skywalker can handle this. He's proven himself capable time and time again. Perhaps with him in charge, the missions will go more smoothly.
Anakin nods slowly, but despite the trust placed in him, his mind remains clouded by the nightmares that plague his sleep.
I'll do what I can, Chancellor.
As Anakin leaves, his mind still racing with everything that has happened around him. The explosions, protests, and the burdens of command. But most of all, he worries about his visions of Padme. The Chancellor thankfully remains an ever-present source of support for him. He is always there to listen to Anakin. But in the next few days, he does more than that. He begins hinting at powers that can save Padme, powers beyond even the Jedi's comprehension. These are abilities created only by the Sith, such as with Darth Plagueis the Wise. This changes everything for Anakin, who now realizes there is something he can do to help Padme. But the thought causes him to shake, to betray everything he's fought for and learn Sith teachings. It seems unthinkable. But then he thinks of the Jedi, so stuck in their ways and unable to be proactive. Yoda remains resting, the perfect metaphor for how sluggish the Jedi have become. These are thoughts that run through his mind throughout the night, even amidst the nightmares. Eventually, he decides to clear his head with some training. As he heads to the courtyard, Anakin swings his saber at imaginary foes. He pours his anger and doubt with each attack, manifesting them as the darkness pours out of him, leaving the courtyard coated in shadows.
Trouble sleeping, Skywalker?
Anakin whirls and stumbles on his next stroke and nearly falls over. He turns to see the Grand Master approaching him.
Master Yoda, I was simply practicing.
Much early, it would seem. Room for one more, do you have?
Anakin nods and gets into a fighting stance as Yoda hobbles forward. Although the movements are slow, there is still power in the way the old Jedi walks. Anakin comes at Yoda with an aggressive swing. The courtyard fills with the crackle of lightsabers as they clash. The sparks from their weapons illuminate the ground, revealing the shadows whirling around Anakin. Each of his attacks grow forceful and aggressive. Yoda remains on the defensive, blocking each attack with one hand. He does not indicate that his injury is slowing him down.
Anger. Your ally it is not, Skywalker. Clear your mind, you must.
Anakin grits his teeth and presses harder as he unleashes a torrent of aggressive attacks.
Why do you think I'm angry, Master? You say there is darkness around us, and yet we sit here doing nothing. All I'm doing is spying on a man who's supposed to be my friend.
Yoda blocks another strike, then swiftly steps aside, causing Anakin to stumble forward off balance. The Grand Master steps back, leaving Anakin to recover his footing.
Right, it may not seem, but necessary it is. So much uncertainty there is. In need of clarity we are.
By betraying our principles? By making me a spy? How is that safeguarding anything?
Yoda watches Anakin, his eyes narrowing slightly as he considers his words. He remembers the visions he found on Moraband, wondering if he risks telling Anakin what happened.
Difficult times, these are. Easy the path is not. But do not fall astray to the dark side, you must. Like a rose it is, beautiful as it appears, but pricks you with its thorn when you least expect it.
And you think the Jedi aren't part of that darkness? Look around, Master. We've become warriors, generals, more involved in politics than ever before, and yet it seems we're the only ones who don't realize it.
I have been having visions, Skywalker.
What?
Since my return from Moraband, received visions I have of a duel with a cloaked figure. The Sith Lord we have been hunting. Powerful he is, unlike anything we've ever faced. Fear to face him alone, I do. That is why act with clarity. We must.
Why are you telling me this, Master?
Because thought on what you said I have. Made a mistake, the Council has. Trust you, we should. Ignoring needs of others, and even our own we have. Though you are not Master now, make you a Jedi Master I will, when this war ends.
Anakin does not answer for a while, as if frozen in time. He's stunned by the news and tries to take it all in. He gazes into Yoda's eyes. He sees the sincerity, and for once sees how old he truly is with the weight of the galaxy on his shoulders. Slowly, he bows his head.
Thank you for your trust in me, Master.
The next day, Palpatine stands at his window, staring out at the bustling cityscape of Coruscant. His expression is dark as Anakin departs for the night. He appears happier and more composed than he was before. Even when he tries baiting him into speaking badly of the Jedi, Anakin does not take it. Instead, he even defends Yoda and says that perhaps there is more to their situation than he realizes. Palpatine determines this change must be due to Yoda. The Jedi Master is too wise for his own good, and it will pose a threat to all his plans. Luckily, he still has one card left to play. Though the explosion in the relief camp was small, it provided a distraction for him to release one convict from prison. The temple is quiet as most of the Jedi are resting, but Yoda remains in the training room, meditating and trying to feel the Force around him, just as he was training with Qui-Gon Jinn. Unbeknownst to him, Barriss Sophie moves silently through the shadows. She knows her mission, and she knows the consequences if she fails. With a deep breath, Barriss steps forward, her lightsaber igniting. The blue blade casts eerie shadows on the walls as she charges toward Yoda, her movements precise despite her captivity. Yoda senses the attack a moment before it happens and sidesteps it, his lightsaber igniting and meeting hers within a second. He deftly parries Barriss's strike, despite his injuries and age.
Released from prison you were, young Barriss.
For a mission. To end the corruption of the Jedi, Master Yoda.
Misguided you are. Lost you have become.
Not lost. Led astray by the lies of the Jedi. Or even now do you still turn a blind eye to the failings of your order? All the hypocrisies you've spoken, all in the name of the Republic.
Their lightsabers clash, the sound of the battle echoing through the temple. Despite Barriss's skill, she's no match for Yoda's experience and mastery of the Force. But her anger gives her some leverage. It fuels her and allows her to move faster and stronger than she normally does. Little does she know that she's tapping into the dark side, right in front of Yoda. As the power grows, the Jedi Master senses it and frowns. He holds his lightsaber defensively, but to Barriss's surprise, he then hesitates and hangs his head.
No. Clouded my vision was. Failed you. The Order has.
Barriss does not stop. She glares at Yoda with a mixture of hatred and despair.
Then you will accept what comes next with dignity.
And what might that be?
Neither realizes the door opens, but Kit Fisto and several temple guards burst inside with their lightsabers ready. Seeing them surround her, Barriss looks around desperately and then closes her eyes.
For the Republic.
Before Yoda can react, Barriss activates the nanodroids hidden within her. The nanodroids detonate, sending a shockwave of energy through the room. Yoda is thrown back, slammed against the wall, his small frame crumpling onto the ground. The explosion reverberates through the temple, injuring Kit Fisto and the temple guards. Anakin arrives just in time to see the devastation, his heart sinking as he spots Yoda lying amid the debris, lifting the frail master in his arms.
Master Yoda, hold on.
Yoda struggles to stay conscious, his breath shallow as he looks up at Anakin with weary eyes.
Strong you must be, Anakin. More darkness ahead there is. The chosen one, you are. Responsibility of the galaxy. On you, I entrust.
Then his eyes close as his small body goes limp in Anakin's hands. The young Jedi can only watch helplessly as the Grand Master passes away in his hands. Anakin walks into the Chancellor's office, his emotions swirling in a tempest of grief, anger, and helplessness. Palpatine stands by the window, his hands clasped behind his back, suppressing a smile as he turns to face him with a sympathetic look.
Anakin, I heard about the attack. I'm truly sorry for what has happened. The loss of Master Yoda is tragic.
I should have been there. But I failed. I keep failing, Chancellor. I can't save anyone.
Anakin, you mustn't blame yourself. You've done all you can, but the Jedi, they've never truly trusted you. They held you back and denied you the power you deserve. The power to help others from dying. But it doesn't have to be this way.
What are you talking about?
I'm speaking of power, Anakin. The power to save the ones you love from death itself. You see, the Jedi have always feared the dark side. But what they don't understand is that it offers abilities that are unnatural.
How do you know the ways of the Force?
My mentor taught me everything about the Force, even the nature of the dark side.
You know the dark side?
Anakin, if one is to understand the great mystery, one must study all its aspects, not just the dogmatic, narrow view of the Jedi. If you wish to become a complete and wise leader, you must embrace a larger view of the Force. Be careful of the Jedi, Anakin. Only through me can you achieve a power greater than any Jedi. Learn to know the dark side of the Force, and you will be able to save your wife from certain death.
What did you say?
Use my knowledge, I beg you.
You're the Sith Lord.
I know what's been troubling you. Listen to me. Don't continue to be a pawn of the Jedi Council. Ever since I've known you, you've been searching for a life greater than that of an ordinary Jedi. A life of significance, of conscience.
Anakin's breath catches in his throat as he recalls the visions of Padme, her life slipping away, but he keeps his lightsaber pointed at his throat.
Knowledge that could grant you the power to save Padme, to ensure that no one else you love is taken from you. But the Jedi, they would let her die. They let Yoda die. They have already turned their backs on you. The death of Yoda is but a stepping stone to a greater galaxy. One where you could rule. Where you could bring true peace and order. Will you seize this power? Or will you let the Jedi strip it from you?
Anakin's heart pounds in his chest as he recalls Yoda's words. The promise that he would be made a Jedi Master.
You lied to me. I won't join you. Yoda trusted me, entrusted me with the fate of the galaxy. To be the chosen one. To save it.
Palpatine glares at him as Anakin tenses and prepares to attack. But a voice rings in his head, one too familiar.
Do not fight him alone, you must. Leave and alert the Council.
Anakin's grip on his lightsaber wavers, the words echoing in his mind. For a moment, he thinks he's imagining it, but it feels so real.
But the rest... You're right, Chancellor. The Jedi have betrayed me. I need time to think.
Of course, Anakin. Take all the time you need. Remember, I'm always here for you.
Anakin rushes into the council chamber, his face pale and beaded with sweat. Mace Windu is the first to greet him.
Skywalker, what is it? What's happened?
The Chancellor.
He's a Sith Lord. We have to act now before it's too late.
A Sith Lord?
Yes, Master. The one we've been looking for. We knew there was something wrong with Palpatine, but this changes everything. We must move quickly if the order is to survive. He's dangerous, Master Windu. More powerful than we realize. We can't underestimate him. We won't. Gather a team of our best. We end this tonight. Thank you for reporting this.
The door to Palpatine's office bursts open as Mace Windu, Anakin, and a team of Jedi Masters storm in, their lightsabers ignited. Palpatine stands at the far end of the room as he watches them approach.
In the name of the Galactic Republic, you are under arrest, Chancellor.
Are you threatening me, Master Jedi?
The oppression of the Sith will never return. Your reign is over.
Palpatine's smirk fades, replaced by a sinister sneer. In an instant, his demeanor changes, and the dark side of the Force surges around him. With a flick of his wrist, his lightsaber hilt flies into his hand, the crimson blade igniting.
You should have joined me when you had a chance, Skywalker.
He unleashes a powerful shockwave of the Force, throwing his desk forward and forcing the group to dive out of the way. Palpatine rushes up to them while they are down, his lightsaber flashing as some of the nearest Jedi fall. But when he approaches Mace and swings his weapon, his purple lightsaber catches it and kicks him back. He slowly rises to his feet, starting to counterattack as he takes in all the dark energy and lets it flow right out. His attacks are disciplined and aggressive, putting Palpatine on the back foot as he leaps back to strategize. Suddenly, Anakin comes at him from the side. Swinging his lightsaber upward, Palpatine stops the attack dead. He smirks and presses down on him. With one hand, he defends against Anakin, and with the other, he hurls the furniture at him.
Is this all the Jedi have to offer? You cannot defeat me.
He raises a hand and lifts more objects off the ground and hurls them at Anakin, forcing him to break off. He stumbles back and raises his hand to try and block the attack. This frees Palpatine to attack Mace once again. Lightning shoots from his hands, putting Mace on the defensive as the Chancellor advances. Mace swings his lightsaber in a wide arc, dissipating the attack and leaving them to clash with their lightsabers. The energies between them grow, sending shockwaves of power in all directions. Meanwhile, Anakin feels the last objects flying across them, but manages to catch one of the vases and smashes it over Palpatine's head. The Chancellor whirls and faces him, his eyes blazing furiously. The Chancellor leaps out at him, his attacks growing ferocious as he falls upon Anakin. It places the young Jedi on the back foot as he tries to defend his attacks. But as Anakin closes his eyes, he feels Yoda's voice encouraging him.
Do not stop. Powerful you are.
The memories of Yoda over the past few days come flowing back. Their arguments, training, and eventually the conversation. As Palpatine's next attack comes falling, Anakin stops his attack and looks up at the Chancellor. Snarling, he begins to stand up and push back. With these memories, Anakin starts to unleash his counterattack. None of these attacks crack his defenses, but Mace comes in and the two stand side by side in their attack. As they battle, Anakin recalls the memory of Yoda. Slowly, he begins to push Palpatine back, who must put all his attention on fighting him. This gives Mace a chance to think. Glancing over, he notices Palpatine's fallen desk and pulls it towards them just as Anakin pushes back. This sends the Chancellor toppling over Anakin, holding his lightsaber against him. Palpatine's face twists in a fury as he realizes his defeat. He unleashes a torrent of Sith lightning, the dark energy crackling through the air. Mace raises his lightsaber to block the attack. The strain is immense, and both warriors are pushed to their limits. As Anakin nears, he feels the lightning flashing across him, but fights through the pain and brings his lightsaber down through Palpatine's chest. Palpatine's scream echoes through the chamber as his body convulses, the dark energy dissipating into nothingness. His lifeless body crumples to the ground. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you want to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, then please like, share, and subscribe to our channel.